How is it going, you lovely lot? Welcome back to Park to Prem. I am pleased to report that 5 games into the league season, we're not in the relegation zone. And I'll be honest, there's kind of one man to give a big thank you for that. Caleb Anson, our goalkeeper, currently has the highest average rating in the team at a 7.16 in the league. He's only kept 1 clean sheet in 5 games. But crucially, in 3 matches played, plus the 2 matches we played last episode to kick off the season, we've not conceded too many. The bad news, in those 5 games, we have scored 2 goals. We have not scored many goals. I mean, to be fair, Everton have scored 2 goals. They're in 9th. I'm going to say defence wins championships. It's not even like our defence has been that good either. Anyway, today we have got transfers to talk about because deadline day has come and gone. And today, 2 games at home against 2 teams behind us in the league. Kind of need to win both, or we will be in the relegation zone. Up first, the team we were promoted with in Birmingham City. They're predicted to finish 19th. They won their most recent league game, which incidentally was against Leeds, who we take on at home in the second game today. Big games coming up to kick off the week and at a relatively early part in the season. Can we get some wins? I bloody hope so. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. And you know what, to kick things off today, no dilly-dallying around. We are going to talk transfers because we did do a little bit of transfer business before the transfer window slammed shut. 3 signings made, 2 loan signings. Somewhere in the distance, I can hear some American blokes screaming really happily right now. The first player we've picked up is Philip Rolk. Yes, a Swedish international who just so happens to be partially English. We've loaned him from Udinese. He was signed actually for them for £1.1 million. I've never heard of this guy before. He is a really, really good centre-back. And between him, Hoey and MB, I hate to say it, our captain in Edmondson finds himself quite far down the pecking order. Yes, Philip we've signed here on loan for the year. He's only on loan on £2,000 a week, which is a great deal for us. And the added bonus here, we have an optional future fee on him of £3 million. Now, admittedly, his current contract at Udinese is equally very, very cheap. I would love to be able to sign this guy. I did actually look at potentially signing him permanently. He wanted £30,000. So this season for him, it's kind of just a trial. I like him a lot. The other man we've loaned in is this guy, Jimmy J. Morgan. What a fantastic name that is. It sounds like a pirate, but I can assure you he's very much a striker. I wanted someone who was a versatile attacking option. I've gone out and found that man. Now, admittedly, he was signed last year by Nottingham Forest, who were in the Premier League for 15 million. He did not play many games. He did not score any goals for them. And yet, despite the fact he was relegated last year with Nottingham Forest, I have decided to buy him. As part of the loan agreement, there is an optional fee of £20 million. He probably has to win the Ballon d'Or for me to consider paying that for him. But as a sub-option, I think he could be good. And the last signing I made, a bit of a luxury signing really. Rudy Shirtliff. I hear he likes to get yellow cards taken off his shirt. Look, 19 years old, pacey, decent mentals in terms of determination, some nice technicals. The 19-year-old honestly comes in as a bit of a versatile striking option. Hasn't been given opportunities at QPR. Probably won't be given many opportunities at us initially. The only annoyance with this absolute bargain buy, he insisted on a relegation release clause of 4.8 million. So I'm going to hope we don't get relegated. If we do, maybe I can give him a new contract. Either way, we would make profit if we sold him for that. Now, in terms of transfers out, I hate to say it, there is no big sale going on. I was trying to sell various players like Joe Gelhardt, Scarlett, and Matos. In the end, I've loaned all of them out. Dane Scarlett has left for £500,000 in loan fees. I believe Kilmarnock, do they have an option to buy him? They don't. I did agree with him that I'd be willing to sell him for 13 million. He's not worth anywhere near that. No one wanted to sign him. I'm loaning him out to the Scottish Premiership side, where currently he's not even starting for them. But you know what? He's going to get more game time there than he would here. I'm trying to really put him in the shop window to sell him. And I think that same mindset can apply to players like Alex Matos and also the next player we'll talk about, Joe Gelhardt. Matos here was looking to sell him. No one wanted him. Blackpool came in with an offer. Again, I don't believe. In fact, you know what? There is an optional fee here of 4.7 million. I don't see how Blackpool are going to afford that, but either way, it felt like it was a better use of his time and our time to loan him out, try and drum up some interest come the end of the year. And Joe Gelhardt, of course, had loads of interest in him through the whole of pre-season. No one materialised with a bid, but when we signed Jimmy J. Morgan in on loan, it just felt like a sensible move to move on Joe here, loan him out. There is an optional fee where well, it's not even optional actually. If Huddersfield avoid relegation from the Championship, he will join them for £8 million. which is as much money as I was hoping to sell him for. Of course, if Huddersfield get relegated, we'll just hope he's worth £8 million to someone else. I'm also very pleased to report that due to the Premier League money we're starting to get in, our overall balance is creeping up and up and up. It's a bit like, you know, when you play the chase. Do people watch the chase? The prize money's going up. That is what's happening right now. We've got £3 million in overall balance, which is very, very healthy. Yeah, it is rising quickly. I'm going to hope that continues throughout this year, especially with our outrageously low wage budget. We're barely spending any money. We should be making lots. Now, of course, last episode we got battered by Arsenal, but we managed to scrape a win against Norwich. Of course, that was one of our 2 goals scored so far this year. It was an own goal. We didn't get any goals against Brighton in the first game since last episode, although admittedly, at 2-0, I don't feel like we disgraced ourselves. Brighton were largely dominant in this game. That is to be expected. We are looking for counter-attacks. Didn't quite materialise in this one. But some good news. We're still in the EFL Cup. Yeah, we beat Southend and Blackpool in that. That's not so impressive, I suppose. We should be winning those games. We're into the 4th round where we've been drawn against Crystal Palace down the line. But between those 2 EFL Cup games, this hurts. Manchester United took the lead 3 minutes into the game. In the 88th minute, Carl Flood stepped up, and due to our lack of penalty takers, he was on it. My head was in my hands. I could already envisage the future. He shot it straight at Van der Voort. So yes, sadly, I am going to view this game as a point dropped. We really could have done with a point there. Good news, we did get a point in the very next game. This one, not entirely a classic against Tottenham Hotspur, I think it's safe to say, although Ajaria, with a goal to remember for the man donning the captain's armband, the right-back cut inside, scored our first ever Premier League goal as one of our actual players. Sadly, we couldn't hold on for what would have been an absolutely outrageous win. They got 1 goal back, Tottenham. They didn't get any more. Wait until you see the stats in this game. Their XG, 3.89. They didn't have any penalties to inflate that either. That was their genuine XG. 22 shots, 8 on target. Caleb Anson, man of the match. This man is going to be very important, I fear, this year. Now, of course, it is very early on in the Premier League season. We've only played 5 games, and given the fact we have played Arsenal, Manchester United and Tottenham, I'm not going to ring the alarm bell just yet. Obviously, a bit of a disappointment we couldn't get anything against Brighton, but today, chances to maybe, well, change our fortunes. Leeds have won 1 game. Birmingham have won 1 game. Both of them have awful goal difference compared to us. I'll set the expectation here. Don't expect to see a lot of goals from our team. Look at the goal scoring to start the year. Yeah, the sooner that Sheldon and Rashid Mohammed start scoring goals for us, the better. They've both played 9 starts between them and got no goals in the league. But you know what? That's going to change today. I've got to be positive. I've got to try and manifest it. Game number 1 today. It is 16th against 20th. A win here, we can move clear of the relegation zone perhaps. A loss here, it's almost, well, I was going to say it's almost certain we would go into the relegation zone. Not necessarily, but it probably wouldn't be good news. Let's just win. So I have been rotating things around fairly heavily. What I will say is, obviously, it's very early on in the year still with the opposition we played. Like I mentioned, the list of teams we played, there's been some challenges. I'm not willing to abandon our game plan just yet. A game like this one, though, it's absolutely vital we get results. Norwich battered Birmingham on the opening game of the season 7-2. They have won 1 game all year against Leeds, who are already right down there towards the bottom of the table. This is a game that we go into, and if we don't get any points, that is perhaps a sign for worry. They're predicted to finish second bottom. We're predicted to finish bottom. We're at home. It's probably our best chance to get a win all year. Okay, there is a kickoff highlight immediately. I don't know if that's good news or bad news, although they've got Chris Metham at centre-back, who in Football Manager was like really OP for many years. He was a player who like popped up as Real Madrid centre-back for me in various save games. Did anyone else ever have that version of Chris Metham? Hopefully, we're not going to face that version today. We've won the ball nicely in the midfield here. Dolk, Ajaria, Ramsey, Sheldon. This is pretty. This is nice. First goal, still looking for it. And we will continue to look for it for Marcus Sheldon because he has kicked it straight at the goalkeeper there. It's parried out for a corner and Ramsey's going to be the man to take it, but that feels like the opportunity squandered, doesn't it? Ball's whipped back post. Hoey can't get there. I really hope we don't live to regret that miss. And well, you know what? We're going to get straight into more action. Ajaria is fizzing in a low cross. Dolk wins the second one. Ajaria now with it for us. Gives it to Rolk, who's making his debut at right centre-back. That is a loopy ball to Sheldon. And Austin has made another saving goal for them. It's 2 chances in a row missed. Corner now for them. We've just seen a couple of corners of our own not taken. Ball whipped in. Anson leaps massively to get that. The 18 aerial reach and I think the 19 jumping reach on full display there. Now, can our star man, and I am going to start labelling him that until he makes some mistakes and I decide I don't like him anymore, can our star man inspire something from the back? Sheldon, Rashid, Ramsey, this is lovely, this is pretty, it's in the back of the net, it's a flex in, that we deserve. 5 minutes in, it's been a banger already, it's 1-0. I'm afraid it's neither of our strikers scoring, but Aaron Ramsey's latter kind of half the year in the Championship was absolutely stinky. Decided to keep faith with him. Maybe I've been rewarded there. Wasn't a pretty goal, they all count. You know we've reached the Premier League, by the way. I'm drinking sparkling water between highlights, yet it's gone to my head, all this money. Okay, Caleb Anson with the ball, giving it to Rolk, of course, playing right centre-back. He is the new Edmondson now, the Swedish international, and that feels weird to say when we're an all-English club, but somewhere along the line he has English lineage, that is all that matters. Flood wins the ball, Arian B, now bringing it out from the back. Our left centre-back, who is... well, one of the big transfers of the year, gives it really nicely up the field. And now, Amari Hutchinson, he's not shown that creative spark we saw in the Championship yet. And he's not shown it there either. The ball was fizzed in low. Mohamed had a shot. It was blocked. It was a good opportunity, though. 30 minutes into this game, this might be the most dominant half an hour of football we have all year. And yet, we have very little to show for it. And now Rashid Mohammed is out injured. He was on a 7.4 rating. He was playing really well in this game with an assist. He broke his foot last year. Let's hope it's not that serious this year. Of course, we do have a few striking options. We could bring in Oliver Johnson. Christopher Alozi is another player we could bring in. Or Jimmy J. Morgan. I feel like it's between Alozi and Jimmy J. Who would you bring on? You know what? I think it has to be Jimbo. Jimmy J. Morgan, come on down. Yes, I will be referring to him by his full name at all times. When you have a name that fantastic, it deserves to be read aloud all the time. Okay, Birmingham throw in on the near side. Neil, back wide. Whip back post. Masamba leaps high. Amari Hutchinson not competing in the air there. Not that we really expect him to compete in the air there. It goes over. I think probably Anson had it covered. I will say now, I feel like this has been a pretty good first half. And right, of course, as I shout praise, a new highlight begins. You know what? I'm going to cancel the shout just in case they score. Do I want to discard all my changes? Yes, yeah. Get rid of the shout. I don't want to have it. In case you didn't know, you can just go into the tactics screen and hit cancel. It gets rid of any shouts that you've queued. Nothing worse than shouting praise. Highlight begins before it takes effect, and then you concede and the players cry. But you know what? Maybe I should be praising them. Because it's 2-0. Oh, you know what? Praise them. Praise them like we're Fat Boy Bloody Slim. This time, by the way, we do have our first goal of the year for one of our strikers. Ramsey, turning provider, gives it to Sheldon. He's got him behind on a number of occasions. That finish there, cheeky. I want some fish with that chip. Right as I thought, though, that highlight was going to be the last of the half. There could be a late twist here. Sheldon, let's not turn off now. Let's stay alert and alive. Oh, my word, Anson makes the save. That was almost crazy. Still do have a corner to deal with, mind you, right now. Quasem is whipping it back post. Anson doesn't come for this one. He doesn't need to come for it. The players have got it away from danger. Football Manager, end the highlight. Why is the highlight not ended? Why is there a free kick? Get it away, Arian B. Rolk, get between you and the man. Shepherds it wide. Hodge shoots. I don't know why Anson hasn't moved there, but it's not gone in, so everything's fine. Remain calm. I tell you what, I was a bit nervous going into this video that with only 2 matches, albeit absolute relegation 6-pointers, we might not be entertained. It might be only 1-0 in this game. I am thoroughly entertained. Okay, there is a kick-off highlight, so it turns out the second half is going to start how the first half kind of ended. A flurry of opportunities late on, non-converted. I really could do with a third goal, I feel like, to settle the nerve. Sheldon in behind, squares it, behind... Oh, it would have been Morgan up there, wouldn't it? In behind him. That was unfortunate. It was an opportunity, though, where we get in behind yet again. Birmingham are playing this high line, and we are killing them for it. Sheldon, Morgan, Jimmy J scores his first goal for the club. Please tell me VAR's not going to rule it out. I've not missed VAR throughout this save game. Is this one going to count? Yeah, you bet your bottom dollar it is. It is 3-0. And it turns out that when Birmingham lost 7-2 to Norwich on the opening game of the year, that wasn't exactly a freak result. It turns out they have absolutely no defensive ability whatsoever, and I'll tell you what, we've killed them today. Do realise I'm saying all of that with still 45 minutes left of this game. The game could still change. Shouldn't get complacent. You know what, Ajuri at right back's not the best of games. James McConnell has now picked up right back as a position he's now accomplished at. He's going to come on there. And elsewhere, Philip didn't really have a pre-season with us. We've thrown him in a bit at the deep end. Did have a couple of good performances lately, but he struggled a little bit in this game. I'm going to bring in Anson. Johnson. I feel like he deserves to get the armband back and be on the pitch. Elsewhere, you know what? Fresh legs in the midfield never hurt. I'm making a few more changes. JJ and Bellingham on. Well, that's a fun centre-mid pair, and that just looks intimidating, doesn't it? They look scary. They've got very professional-looking faces with dynamic lighting in the middle. Like there's an angel between them guiding them. Okay, I will confess, I did have a bit of Bucks fizz that was left over before recording this video. Don't know if that's come across in the commentary. Caleb. You know what? He's been so good this year, I'm going to ignore that. Hodge whipped the ball to the back post. I mean, it's a corner, isn't it? Ballard leaps highest. Anson. Not his finest moment in goal this year. It's really tricky, right? Because he's got these really good ratings. And I do feel like any goalkeeper that has above like a 7.1 rating is basically the greatest goalkeeper of all time in Football Manager. Do you know what I mean? Like the goalkeepers, they don't get good ratings in Football Manager very rarely. But on top of that, the 3D animations that you get for goalkeepers never makes goalkeeping look good, does it? You never go, wow, that was an unbelievable save, really. And well, I'm hoping we're not going to see an unbelievable save here. Sheldon scored. Is that one going to count? It's another VAR check. It feels very close, this one, to being offside because the goalkeeper did come out. Is this one going to count? Is it going to be 4-1? You bet your bottom dollar it is. We have waited a long time for him to get his first goal in the Premier League. And well, it turns out they're like buses. Sheldon goals. You wait for 1, 2 come along at once. McConnell on at right back with the assist. I'm a genius. Okay, few minutes left of this game. Right, do you think the game is going to fizzle out into nothingness? You know what? There might be a little bit more action. We've already lost our clean sheet bonus, so that's a little less money I have to spend paying defenders. So that's maybe some good news. Wouldn't mind a few more goals, though, to, well, boost the morale of our strikers. Of course, both strikers currently on the pitch are on the scoreline now. And while JJ could try and add his name to the mix, and I'll tell you what, he will. It's 5-1. Had 2 goals in 5. Now we've got 7 goals in 6. We're back. Okay, 5 minutes of added time at the end of this game. Surely going to come and go. We are going to get a massive win. Helps our goal difference as well. Sheldon has just got an injury. Sheldon's just got an injury. That, I don't want to say it too loudly, that might be worth panicking about. He's been man of the match today. We're going to win this game. But at what cost? What? Get me out of the game. I don't care what's happened elsewhere in the league. Are my strikers okay? Okay. That's pretty bad. Sheldon, 5 to 6 weeks. Why can't things just go well for once? Oh my word, Rashid Mohammed. I'm going to have to send him to a physio. Both my strikers are out for like a month and a half minimum. I'm in pain. Now, I suppose the good news is, it's the 9th of September in game, and we've only got one game between now and the 14th of October due to mental international breaks. The issue is, the very next game is against Leeds United, who are now in 15th. They are a team that I eye up as a winnable game, especially at home. They did just win their most recent game, but that was an opportunity for a win. I mean, it's still an opportunity for a win. We just have to do it without 2 players who are kind of important. Marcus Sheldon, man of the match, 2 goals, an assist, and an injury. I'm sad. Right, next game is against Leeds in a week. I'm going to work out what the plan is in terms of attackers. Don't go anywhere. Okay, folks, game number 2 today, taking on Leeds. And well, for this game, we have got to adapt and try and overcome. Look, up top, things are not really ideal here, are they? We have got Jimmy J playing alongside Johnson. That is the solution, I think, to the current dilemma. Jimmy J, obviously, superb last game, got a really important goal for us. Johnson, still finding his feet, but improving really well in training. Impressed me in the Carabao Cup as well. He's put in some good performances there. Obviously, a different calibre of opposition. Never really an ideal situation where you're bringing in your 5th choice striker. I'd actually argue that Ezio Torre here is a more likely fit to be the player I'd go with normally in this situation. However, he's also coming back from injury and can only play 45 minutes. And I think the last thing I need right now is a 3rd injury to a striker. Oh, and if you're wondering about Alozzi, he's also coming back from an injury. Fitness test not required, but yeah, I just don't want to rush anyone back who doesn't really have match sharpness. Rest of the team, however, for this game is going to be unchanged. Anson, Rolk, Coe, Arian B, Ajaria, Dolk, Flood and Hutchinson in the midfield. Obviously, the final third, a little bit of a different look. Bit weird, isn't it, really? You win a game with 5 goals scored, have to change both your strikers. Especially with the issue we've had with goals. Maybe the current strikers that I've dropped, they were holding me back. Maybe these are the players I should be relying on this year. Okay, let's see what we can do. So I need to pause the game here. They've got Gabriel Barbosa up front, Leeds United, as their captain. They've got Diaby on the wing. This team is below me in the league, and I don't quite know how. I mean, to be fair, they are still using Stroik and Roden at centre-back, so maybe that's where they're having problems. Certainly going to be hoping that our good players could hold back theirs. The fact they have a corner scares me, especially when I've just talked rubbish about their centre-backs. If they score, that would feel like karma. Gabby has scored there. Gabby goal. How about Gabby VAR? It's not going to count. That was offside by a country mile. Draw the lines. Get him on the pitch. Leeds United, get back in your own half. We've got a free kick to take. Why even make me watch that? Halfway through this first half, that disallowed goal, the only highlight of the game so far. This is more what I've become accustomed to seeing so far this year. But in a weird way, you know, this game maybe is a slightly different one where I'd look to get a win still against Leeds. But matches like this where things are quiet and it's decided by 1 or 2 chances, I think really suit our style of play. Speaking of which, maybe a chance for us here. Ajaria, 5 minutes left of the half, gives it to Ramsey. Back wide to the captain, or rather the vice who's constantly donning the armband. Johnson there hits the headers it. That hit the post and went wide. I will say Johnson, and you might have seen it in the match engine, he's got a big afro. I need to know in the comment section. I saw some comments campaigning for it. Do I need to change his regen face to someone with a big black afro? Because in the match engine, that is what he has. All I'm saying is, look, there he is. He looks like a distant relative of Disco Stu from The Simpsons. I mean, it might well have to be done. Anyway, we've had that one highlight. I think this is another highlight as opposed to a fake highlight. That I suppose we'll find out in a second. Wan-Bissaka is their right back. He is tucking into midfield as an inverted wing back. Bit luxurious and exotic, isn't it? Maybe he shouldn't be doing that. He's given the ball away in a compromising area. Maybe that's an area of the pitch we can really look to punish. Ramsey to Flood. Flood with the ball now for us. Gives it wide to Arian B. This is pleasant to watch, isn't it? This is really nice. What is going on here? This is not how we normally play. Rolk's giving it away. He's on a bucking. That's always concerning. Ajaria, bit of space at right back. Dances inside, outside, round past his man, fizzes the ball across the face of goal. It's not dealt with. Hutchinson to Morgan, who scores, and I'm going to say Gukton Morgan, because we have woken up and we've got ahead. I'll be honest, I pre-recorded a lot of the episodes over Christmas, and I feel like in my excitement, I've come back for the first recording in a little over half a week, and I'm full of beans. Look, the commentary has been a little OTT. I don't care. We're winning. And maybe my players don't care either. Maybe they're getting complacent because immediately there is a highlight here. Although Hutchinson wins the ball. Ramsey, lazy getting to the ball. Arian B playing it. Wan-Bissaka is miles out of position here. He is going a wonder often. I'm almost tempted to change Amari Hutchinson's role to kind of a complete wing-back to try and make the most of the fact that they are playing with Wan-Bissaka tucking inside. We're a goal to the good. Maybe don't need to overthink things too much. There's only a minute left of this half. A goal here would be absolutely massive. Ramsey has Ajaria alongside him down the line. Ramsey going all on his lonesome, the number 10, gives it to Ajaria. Flood can pick out a pass, picks out Ramsey, who shoots, and Melier makes a really good stop. I'm really glad I've come back for these 2 games, because these are the 2 games where we've looked most like a competent football team for phases of play. Of course, as I say that, Hoey does that. That did not look competent. It's headed over, but never mind. We're up at the break. I'm going to tell the players I'm delighted with that performance. I want green, happy, smiley faces across the board. Ramsey had a great game last match. He's back in his old ways. 6.5 rating in this one so far. Not going to make any changes, though, to start this second half. I feel like on the whole, we've been pretty solid in this game. Rolk and Hutchinson do scare me a little on bookings. I feel like this is the kind of hard-fought 6-pointer at the bottom of the table where I really don't want to go down a man. So Edmondson on Yukon. Gavin Wallace, I'm going to bring on at left wing back. I'm actually going to do something a little risky perhaps here. I'm going to move him up the pitch and actually play him as a winger on attack. I really want to try and get in that area behind Wan-Bissaka and actually to kind of further emphasise this desire to focus the play down the left. I'm going to look for the overlap down the left and look for the you know what? No, I'm going to look for the underlap on the right still. I don't really want us dwelling on the ball, letting Flood go forward. Flood needs to be the anchor man, the man who's sensible in the centre of the midfield, allowing Wallace to be silly on the left. The Wan-Bissaka inverted wing-back, I just feel like that is something that we can look to punish. It's a little bit of a gamble here, but it's not like they're creating a lot down the right-hand side of the pitch anyway. You can see the Leeds United heat map. You can see their game plan. They want to give it to Diaby. And well, with 13 minutes left, I'll be honest, you know, I don't mind if there's no highlights in this kind of game. Now we've got our noses there. Now we just have to do some defending. Paulo Roberto is holding up the play nicely for them here and bringing it down this left-hand side. He's going to cross it in. Gabby is there. Ajaria heads it away, but Zappa spanks it, and I'll tell you what, that's only just gone wide of the post. Was thinking about making more changes. Football Manager was like, you know what, we're having another highlight immediately before I could even pause it. So let's see what happens here. Morgan gives it to Gavin Wallace. We've brought on our youth prospect for his fresh legs. That's a great ball to Ramsey. Options in the middle. Ramsey doesn't need them. That is an outrageous goal. I'm sorry I criticised him at half time. He got the message loud and clear. I don't think Wallace was given an assist for this because Ramsey kind of lost possession momentarily here with Berg, but he battled for it. He won it back well, the number 10. And that is one hell of a finish. It's 2-0. You know what? 2 goals to the good. Now we're just going to go back to our old ways. In fact, you know what? I'm putting the wing backs on support. We don't need to go over the top here. Dolk, just do some defending. I'm going to bring in Torre, and I'm also going to bring on Alozzi, I think, just in the final third. Fresh legs there if we do look to break away. Edmondson has come on and got a booking, which is less than ideal, but hopefully he can be disciplined for the remaining of this game. We have been pretty good in this game so far. We've created a lot, and yet there is a corner here that makes me nervous. Rowe gives it back to Harrison. He has options in the middle, fizzes it in, and Anson has made a ridiculous save. Oh, my word. Big stop by the goalkeeper. We've still got this resulting corner to deal with, though. Harrison is going to whip it in. Hoey heads it. Dolk heads it. Just get it away, lads. It's not volleyball. We don't need to keep it in the air. We just have to get it away from danger. Dolk has kicked it at his own man. What is happening here? Why can things not be simple to end the game? Why does the highlight end then? Football Manager's trolling me. I've got a goalkeeper injury. It's a shoulder injury for Anson. You know what? There's been comments saying Josh Griffiths is better. Anson's had a great start to the year. That's a bad injury. We might be about to find out if Josh Griffiths is better. He's going to come on for the rest of this game. Tell you what, good job I left a sub. I didn't leave a sub last game. I lived life dangerously. Saved one in this match. We've brought on a new goalkeeper. Not sure he had anything to do. We're going to win. We're going to keep a clean sheet. And that is 6 points in 2 games we were desperate to get something from. Oh my word, that's huge. Also, Josh Griffiths, nervous on his debut. Literally came on for 5 minutes. With those results there, we're suddenly up to 9th. Admittedly, you know, the games we've won today, they are against teams towards the bottom of the table, but they're almost all the more important to win. Annoyingly, elsewhere, I've just seen Birmingham managed to beat Everton. So things remain fairly tightly packed at the bottom, but we are 4 points clear of the drop. That's really annoying. I mean, I guess we're sending Anson to a specialist. I don't want a recurring injury of a dislocated shoulder. That feels like a recipe for a disaster for a goalkeeper. He's going to be out for up to 2 months. Josh Griffiths, get ready, mate. You're going to be our goalkeeper for the foreseeable future. I mean, on the one hand, today's been great. And Griffiths keeps a clean sheet on his debut. Brilliant. But yes, on the one hand, today's been brilliant. We've got 2 wins. That's good news. The not so good news is it's come at a cost. Some of our better players getting injured. Now, in terms of the plans for next episode, I'm going to leave things a little up in the air, a little bit as a mystery, because to be honest, until I know exactly what we're truly competing for, the games that matter really do vary. If we go on a run in the Carabao Cup, maybe we're back sipping energy drink in a semi-final. We may be back sooner. We may be back later. Come back tomorrow to find out. Appreciate you guys watching, as always, especially if you got to the end. If you have done, you know what I'm going to ask you to do. Go down, leave a like. I'll see you tomorrow for more. I'm out.